Connecting sockets and switches is a simple task if you have some installation skills and basic tools. For a framed wall, when it comes to finishing, there are several options available. One common option is to use a standard plasterboard panel, but what we have here is a panel that already comes with its own finish. And the hole for this was already pre-made during the manufacturing process. Now we'll need to insert an installation box, and these boxes come in several depths. Typically, the diameter of an installation box is 68 millimeters, and the available widths could potentially be 3. And what we have here is a narrower box which is specifically designed for the exterior wall, where the existing gap between the panel and vapor barrier films are not very large. However, for a very basic electrical outlet, this particular width will be more than perfectly adequate. But this here is an installation box of a very common standard size, and it's primarily designed and most frequently utilized for installing electrical power outlets. And as you can clearly observe, these specific installation boxes are equipped with these convenient side wings. You simply turn them just a little, and the small wing then lifts up, and if we were to carefully insert it into this position right here, we unscrew it, and then we apply pressure from that particular direction, and then from this other side we also press it firmly. We need to thread the wire through. To do this, we will carefully break out one of the designated segments within the box, specifically choosing the one that provides the most convenient access for the entire installation process. So in this particular instance, the wire is already positioned right here. We will then proceed to push it in just a little bit further, and subsequently we will carefully check the volt. If we just put it in simply like this, then this little end will be sticking out right here. That's why it needs to be trimmed. Then we turn it to the opposite direction and screw on the little wing. When we pivot around to the completely opposite direction, we then proceed to take off that little flap. It's positioned very deeply inside. The installation box is beautifully recessed. The way it is done is to ensure that the wires in the electrical socket are already properly stripped and prepared for connection. The wick is trimmed according to the manufacturer's recommendations, but this is most often 15 millimeters. Right here, you can precisely adjust and control the exact diameter of the hole that will be created, all by using this specific part. And then the mechanism is already being assembled. Pause. We're talking about the mechanism itself. Pause. Mechanisms, you see, typically come in two main types. There are those equipped with screw-on contacts, pause, and then there are those that feature sliding or grabbing contacts. Power strips usually still have a couple of additional sockets. You can still utilize them to connect to another wall outlet.
it's most convenient to position the cable using long nose pliers. We don't have specialized long nose pliers here, the kind specifically designed for electricians. Their surface is much smoother and they don't damage the insulation as much when you apply pressure. Because you see, if you press too hard with these, the insulation will definitely get damaged. That's why you need to be more gentle.
Alternatively, you could then apply a certain amount of electrical insulation in order to soften the pressure. In this case, it's practically not a problem because there is no more complicated situation than the one we are currently in. That's it, we have inserted it. The wire is now securely in place, and we then proceed to carefully insert the other cable into the opposite side. Alright, everything is now perfectly in place. The cables are held completely secure and won't budge at all. If you ever need to pull them out, you simply press this specific button right here and that will immediately release the cable. Yes, this is the particular one you need to press. This button right here, when it is pressed, allows the cable to be released and come loose. And there is still something remaining. The electrical wire. Here is the live wire, the neutral wire, and then we have the grounding wire. Yeah, grounding isn't done here yet, but maybe it will be done sometime. That will install it right away. Now we push it in.
Permeable. She is also, because it is situated here.
This box is shallower, so there isn't much space for the wires. They already have to be pushed into the frame's interior.
And now we are going to perform the rewind.
The small screws that are used for holding things in place.
You don't need to unscrew them all the way. They'll just slide right into these specially designed slots for the pulled heads. Now in this particular case, this one is also a star-shaped type. No,
This small screwdriver, it's much more convenient to use when you're working with these particular screws. Now, if it's difficult to insert,
It can be completely turned back without having to struggle or be burdened and to force them to comply.
Because here it completely goes the socket and the installation box already like this. Arranged. And now we're putting in the screws. It's best to tighten them with a different Phillips screwdriver. We don't fully tighten them now. We tighten them so they hold, and now we look. Now we don't tighten it. We tighten it so it holds, and now we check the alignment. Like that. We need to tilt it a bit to this side. And this one can go into this one, like that. Having tightened the mechanism, it is further secured with these wings. You can see them, they turn right here. And by turning them, they expand and fix themselves into the installation box. The most common issue with switches is case getting stuck, and reassembling the mechanism is very simple.
there is a button that has become stuck, and to replace the entire mechanism is not a complicated procedure. We remove the button, and what remains is the mechanism itself. And now the entire finish is protected by this plastic piece.
And there is a mechanism. Now there are a few holes. That is, well, right here. The mechanism is even fully held. We're unscrewing these wing nuts, and now we'll have to switch off the electricity because this section is currently powered, and it's always much safer to work with the power disconnected. And here we have a mechanism that needs to be screwed on.
We'll need to unscrew this, and then we'll replace it with the mechanism that has grippers. The mechanism is clearly marked right away, indicating which side is the top. This is the very top in pause. This means that this particular section needs to go upwards in pause. And now we carefully insert the wire right into this small designated opening, the pause. It then securely locks itself very firmly into place.
From the other side, we are inserting it into the hole.
And if we want to, these two specific buttons are pulled out, and when you press them, the entire mechanism is released, and then it fully retracts. And now we are going to insert it. This is where the screws are supposed to be, but unfortunately this section is already broken. Because of that, we can only secure it using these winged fasteners.
Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, click like. Likes motivated me to make new videos. Don't miss upcoming new videos. Press button on the right. Bye.